Sorry guys, I ran out of room on my other device, so we'll come to this device and we'll actually divide this into a part 2. So don't mind that over there. I'm like winter cleaning like it's spring. Well, maybe I am because I'm cleaning this, right? So anyway, I had already cleaned in here and oiled. So that's taken care of, okay? The next step is right up in here. And as a disclaimer, the noise in the background I cannot control. And I'm not stopping my video because this is teaching you. Ladies, don't think that you have to send your machine to some dude and waste your money because you may have just needed to oil your machine. Don't do that. Don't do that. Learn how to fix your own. Stop being a wuss and learn how to fix your own. Trust me, the elders that I was around when I was a kid, they told me, fix your own. Don't take it to a repair shop that's going to cost you an arm and a leg and take forever to get to your machine. The guy said, don't take the screw out. Well, I'll tell you what. It doesn't come off, you take the screw out. I'm not calling people wusses, but I'm just saying. Learn how to fix it. There are plenty of YouTube videos showing how to fix any machine, including the trundles, the single trundle machines. Absolutely. Don't think there aren't those videos. There are. I've seen them. There's a guy that does the mechanics for it, and he teaches it right here on YouTube. That way, at home, you can already know how to fix your own machine. Here we go. And that's, yes, that is the size of the screw. We put that aside. And then what we will do, when you go to take this off, I like to try to make sure that this is down. There we go. I forgot to put that part down. Then this comes off easier. Make sure that your needle area is down when you go to take this off, otherwise you're going to struggle like I just did. So anything that's metal to metal on the inside of your machine is where you want to oil. Absolutely where you want to oil. So let's slide you over here while I'm doing this and show you what is metal to metal. Now there are plenty of things in here that you should be told when you get a Singer sewing machine, even with the old ones. There's these little holes. Aha! Maybe not everybody's willing to tell you about. When you're going to oil your machine, you'll see these little holes, and you only want a couple of drops of oil. You don't want a bunch, just want a couple of drops, and that's it. And then you want to work this up and down. Just work it up and down. I should move that thread. Oil's gonna get on it. It already has. I'll just cut that thread loose. But and see how easy that came back out? And that was just to show you. But we'll go ahead and put this plate back on. But anything inside of your machine, like I said, that is metal to metal is exactly where you want to put the drops of oil. It only takes like 2 drops of the oil, and really that's about it. So you have right here where the needle goes. You want to put a drop of oil there, And then when you do that, like I said, and that's not clicking like it was. You know that had that mean click. And now it's not doing it, which is great. That's wonderful progress. And I'm a woman, and I can fix my own machine. Just look at your mechanics on the inside of your machine. Right in here. The mechanics of your machine. And don't be afraid to repair your own, okay? I have a lot that I've been spring cleaning in here. And I have a lot more that I'm going to spring clean. Anyway, to get back to the mechanics of this, like I said, anything that's metal to metal, that's all you want to oil. 2 drops, you're good. No more than 2 drops of oil inside this few spots in this machine. And that would go the same for the inside here, which we will get to momentarily. As soon as I finish up mechanics on the inside of this part. Now, basically, when I was growing up, I hung around with a lot of auto mechanics and, learning about cars and other, components for engineering. Maybe that's why I passed aerospace engineering. I didn't even have to study and I passed it. Keep a tissue handy. A paper towel really handy because you might need that. In fact, I actually suggest putting it under here because it'll catch a little bit of that oil. And then when you're doing this part, what you want to do, let me move that oil out of the way, is you want to yesterday's painting fell over. Take your wheel and go forward. Don't take it backward. Go forward. Because that's how your machine runs. Do this in the exact order that your machine runs. And that is a great key to fixing what you have. And wipe down wherever this oil may have gotten that it shouldn't be. You don't want it to mess it up. And wipe it down here. Oh, and if you want to know, this oil buffs things really nice. And the reason I actually got this sewing machine oil was to clean up my vintage machine. It's actually good for cleaning up the vintage machines. So, we're going to put the casing back on here. Now, when you got to do this, you want to make sure it comes over this. For a reason. And I noticed he had his piece here like that white. I don't know. Maybe his was just like that. You are going to have to remember that this only covers so much on this part here on the side of your machine. And you just struggle a bit to get this back on there. Make sure that this is down. Like I said, you are going to struggle a bit until you pop it back on. Now, I got this back on the other day with serious, not this much of a problem, but also wasn't trying to do this the way that guy did it. I was doing it my way. And it seemed like my way was not that much of a problem. Because I literally made sure that everything that fits into this section was in there. Oh, this is a pain in the booty. Oh, we've almost got it. Oh, come on. There we go. Little patience. And struggle. And even you can do this. Remember, now you want to go right to make everything tight. Now that we've got that part done, we'll move on to this section. And as you guys know, I don't have a pause button, so I'm unable to pause recording. Isn't that something? It's weird, but but I will be so glad to have my machine working in full force again. I am excited just to do this. I think by the graces I came across those videos because, oh, here it is, you know, I was like kind of down about it, you know, not working. And now this is the part where we come up here where the two screws are right here. Okay. Ew. Got some dust. Get the dust off. Trust me. If you must, just dust. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the machine. See if I can get that undone. As he said, these might be a little tricky. See if I can find the guy's channel, and then I'll link it. A couple of guys. One of them was about survival. I guess he lives in a survival cabin or something. I don't know where, but that's his business. But like I said, you know, he has a Singer 4452. Like I said, for a person on my budget, these machines are an investment because when you live on less than $800 a month and you save for things like this just becomes your investment. Absolutely. These things become an investment, just like all that fabric. That's an investment, quite frankly. So you never know what, you know, someone might need. I might need something. You know, I may want to start having better looking clothes for myself. Doesn't hurt. Every person likes a sharp dressed other person. Anyway, I'm just going off with some ZZ Top. You know, every woman likes a sharp dressed man. If you don't know that song, something wrong with you. Like wearing a uniform. Oh, I missed out on that because of physical injury to my spine. I shouldn't even be able to stand up, but I'm almost 11 years out of a wheelchair I was in for 5 years. My spine is deteriorating on a daily basis, but I'm still here. I deal with the pain. And here I am, right? Here I am. And seriously, this piece right here, that is not made to put your thread on. That is made to put your extra bobbins. Serious. That's what this part's for. If you weren't taught how to thread a sewing machine, there's something wrong with you. Please go learn this. I know some people will use those taller spools of thread, and that's fine too. I myself may look into getting some of those. Woo! Now that I got that out, let's put this handle back down. There is a screw back here, but I'm not messing with that because that goes to this. And how you do this is, he said, and right now I'm kind of doubting it, because I'm gonna take this part off and put it over here. But and I'm doing that for a reason. Right now, as I'm looking at this, I don't want to break any parts of my machine at all. And what the gentleman was saying is you're able to just pop this off, that there's 2 niches right here, and you should be able to just pop that off. And now I'm not able to do that at the moment. It's not letting it happen. And hey, it's cleaning my desk while I'm at it. That's not happening for me. And there's no screws up here to hold it. It was only those 2 right here to hold it. So I have weird strength. I am terrified to do this part. Ooh, you just don't know. I have some weird strength. And I don't want to have to get angry like the Hulk and use my weird strength. Trust me, I don't. This machine is my baby. Even he said you may have to wiggle it. I really have to find out the name of his channel for you. It's just relating to him as he. But this is not opening the way he said, so, and I'm not going to force it. So far, what I think I will do is I will go ahead and put those 2 screws back, because I am just not going to break my machine because this part won't come off. So we'll get to that part in another video. But what I will do is go ahead and put these screws back. Although the guy miraculously didn't even have to take the screws out, which I thought was funny. And like I'm saying, you know, even though this thing is under warranty, a Singer sewing machine is supposed to have a lifetime warranty after you register. And I did register my machine. Always remember to register your Singer sewing machine when you get it. That way Singer knows where you're located if you need your machine taken care of. And that one area where you put the thread up here, that is supposed to move in case anybody's ever wondered about that. It really helps a bobbin, not a bobbin, a spool of thread go on easier. Difference between, this is your bobbin, this is your spool. That's all there is about that. And yes, I will be putting the needle back on momentarily. Should I change the needle? There's nothing wrong with that needle. I really just think that the machine needed to be well oiled. And a well-oiled machine always works right. I also hung around with a lot of Shriners and Oddfellows and different Freemason branches when I was a kid. Now I am one. I'm not a Shriner or an Oddfellow, but oh, I can't wait for lodge rings to get here. Oh, I'm excited for my lodge rings. Really am. I have 2 really beautiful ones on their way. It's going to take a little while, but it's because they're a specific size. I have very teeny phalanges, and they had to make mine a specific size because of it. So, okay, turn the machine around, bring you back down here, where I don't really care if that bag is there. I really do not care. Gonna go ahead and close this oil. When I do it, I feel like going like that. That way I keep the oil contained. Now we're just going to put the needle back in like thus. Oh my gosh, is it up high enough? No. Always make sure that's up high enough for your needle. And then tighten it up. That's really all there is about that. Just tighten it back up. Other than making sure that the eye is in the right place, I always like to have mine centered. Okay, that was center. Okay, mine is center point. I like to be able to make sure that I can see the eye with the white. And if I can't see that, that means that's off just a poquito. Just a little bit, and then you just readjust. When you first get these machines, this little piece right here for holding the needle in, that can be a little tight in the machine. So if you have to take your needle out, realign, because the eye of the needle is very important on a machine, in which direction it's going. Now on some of the older model Singer sewing machines, the needle was literally turned the other way, and these newer models, that's not so. That is so not so. If that makes sense to everybody, doesn't it? It's so not so. No, it's so not so. Sorry for my horrible British accent. Just trying to be playful about this whole thing. And since a little bit of that oil got on that thread, that's why I'm putting it aside. So, what I shall do is put this bobbin back in since it's full. Rethread, right? Make sure that it's at a P. It's a P this way, and it's an upside down P when it goes the other way. Put your plate back on here. A lot of mistakes that people make, I even occasionally do this, is bring it out underneath here instead of leaving it at the side, and then when the needle goes down, it's supposed to catch it, but you're actually supposed to leave it right here. It will catch it. There's no problems with that. It's kind of catchy. And of all things, don't forget to put one of these back on there. I have used this one a lot. I have not used my walking foot on here. I see some sort of extra needle that I don't recognize, so let's put that voodoo in the trash. It's not mine. I don't know, I've been finding those a lot lately, and I find it to be a bit creepy. The sewing needles, or sewing pins, I should say, sewing pins that are not specifically mine. You guys know my sewing pins by now. Mm-hmm. If it's that little round bulbous thing, that's not mine. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, let's put that away. Put our scissors. No. We might leave the scissors out for a moment. Because momentarily this is going to be turned on and we're going to test it. Remember to always have a piece of tester fabric handy. I'm taking up some time in your day and I hope you don't mind. I really hope you don't mind. I don't mind taking up some time in your day, as long as you don't mind me taking up some time in your day. Figure out where this extra cord is coming from. How very interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Interesting indeed. Also, he said you could just turn this on and just, you know what helps? I just you just saw a total brain fart right there. Plug this in. And then be very easy with your sewing machines, because you guys know I've sewn fast a couple of times and I'm trying not to do that. And we will test this out, see the lights on. And I'm gonna get that other contrasting thread. And then, nope, that's not my scrap fabric. Oh, I had some scrap fabric over here. It's okay, I have plenty of scrap fabric in my room. But let me test out what that chick was saying. Of course you always have the thread behind. You never have it, you know, I've always had mine behind. Over here, yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. Weird. It's weird. Take it right here on this little niche, through here, down. Now you need to bring that back up. Okay. And then turn your light on. I leave the foot down for a specific reason. I always feel that it's going to get in the way of me threading my machine, and that's why I leave it down. If you don't have bifocals, get yourself a pair of reading glasses if you have a problem seeing the eye on your needle. And you're all, aye, Captain, who lives in a sewing machine under the sea. Definitely not A. Well, maybe. So let's grab some scrap fabric real quick. Okay. Cut me a little scrap of scrap fabric here. Because I'm actually going to be using some of the scrap fabric to make a neck pillow for someone, so I don't want to take too much of it. And I'm not going to go in the point of using up all my scrap fabric for just one thing. Nope. That's just overkill. So, there we go. And now it's time to test it out, my friends. Make sure that you're comfortable. That's also key. Put your scrap fabric under, lower your presser foot or your sewing foot. And just put this on whatever setting you want. I'm just leaving it on the last setting I had it on. It's fixed it! I fixed my machine. Although it's still having a little bit of like thread issue in here, like doubling up on some of the thread. I think I'll end up getting that resolved as well. I bet it's been doing that. Ever have that problem with your machine? Let me know in the comments below. That was one of my problems. But if you're able to do this and then pull that extra out, your machine is not going to jam up. Oh, I'm so excited. Now I can get back to sewing. Make it a P. Put it in. And make your bobbin. Begin with the joy of sewing. The joy of sewing. Sewing is such a joy to me. But look at that. The joy of sewing. Oh, everyone. I hope this video is very helpful to everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I can bring this to you. And on the wheel part here, there's so many different like setting points for like your stitches. When you use the black ones, you use the settings for that right up in here. And let me show you real quick for that. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy I fixed my machine. And don't sew too quick. Try to slow yourself down. And that's what keeps your machine going longer. Oh, I'm so happy. In fact, that's also what keeps that 3-strand from happening as much. As you can see right there a little bit. But it's fixed, my friends. It is fixed. Oh, and I am so happy. Oh gosh. You know what that means? I can make my corset now. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I fixed my machine. I really have to give some kudos to Coolirpa. Because, you know, I know I needed to fix my machine, and I've been kind of procrastinating on this, and I shouldn't procrastinate. But I watched her video today on making the protective bags for Australia's wildlife. Kind of like cleaning up under there with my foot. Underneath your desk will get a little messy. And you don't want that. But to help the wildlife in Australia, and it was about sewing, and I did put that in my video earlier today. Thank you, April. You're such a lovely person. She's such a lovely person. She checked with a certain association. I did put that in the other video today, earlier today. Oh my gosh. So how can we help Australian wildlife was the video. So you can go check that out. You can check that link for Coolirpa. She has a link to a link for helping Australian wildlife. So, you know, I really have to thank Coolirpa, you know, for getting me more enthused to get my machine fixed now than later. The sooner you get something fixed, the sooner you get back into sewing. I mean, aren't those just beautiful stitches just for being beautiful sewing stitches? And I've been using that particular stitch a lot lately. And I know I should switch back to the serger stitch, which I really enjoy working with. But anyway, guys, I'm glad I got my sewing machine fixed. Yay me! Because I fixed it myself. Who needs to waste money on things you don't need to spend on that's kind of worthless when you can fix it yourself or make it yourself, or even I'm just glad to know mechanics. And this isn't quantum mechanics, which, by the way, I love quantum mechanics. But I'm going to tell you, I am so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. And even the bobbin holder inside stayed perfect like it's supposed to. So if you have a problem with your machine, there's YouTube videos out there. Put in what machine model you have, and absolutely there are people out on YouTube to help you fix your machine. So maybe this year I'll start working on repairing the vintage machine. If you would like to see me do that, leave it in the comments, because I would love to hear back from you on that. So you know what this is going to do? This is going to make it a whole lot easier to finish little Joey's second pair of clothes that I'm making for the Rendy Ray. So other than that, I think I already did my outro. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I will see you all later.